They did, any cute boys there? I said, only one.
That was me.
My grandparents, Jack and Jean Magner, have been married for 52 years. They have been through ups and downs, but somehow, with love, respect, and happiness, they have made it. So I wonder, what is the key to a successful marriage?
We used to talk a lot. She had a boyfriend at the time. And then, I don't know, one time we went on a biology trip and we kind of teamed up together to do the biology report, and after that we started going out.
Jack and Jean had 3 kids, Tammy, Wendy, and Jackie. Each of them had 2 kids. I'm the 3rd oldest grandchild out of 6.
Okay, I have 3 children, Tammy, Wendy, and Jackie, and 6 grandchildren.
I'm their oldest daughter.
I am their middle daughter.
I am their youngest daughter.
They're my grandparents.
My high school job was I worked in the A&P, which was a grocery store.
I worked in a drugstore as a soda jerk, and I worked there for a couple of years in high school, and then after that I guess I just worked landscaping.
I used to get on the bus in the summer at 6:30 in the morning and drive about 20 miles on the bus with some other kids from my neighborhood to the tobacco fields. And I didn't pick tobacco, but I was a stacker. You had to pick up the leaves and one go this way and one go that way and one go this way, and and then they would stitch them all together and hang them in the barns to dry.
You gotta give in, you gotta be caring, you gotta really think about the other's feelings, and you know, no marriage is totally happy, but there, I don't think, but you know, there's a lot of things that people think differently about, but you know, you just gotta give in to the other person's feelings to a certain extent.
I don't know, I guess it's a lot of give and take. One day I'm right, the next day he's right. You have to admit when you're not right.
It's great, you have to. You know, sometimes you'd like to be a little bit on your own, but it's nice to have somebody you can, you know, talk to and trust, and it's a good feeling to be married 52 years. And you make a commitment when you get married, and you should live by it. It's a struggle to get this far. You think everything's going to be easy when you're 20, but it's not, and it's hard to get through life with all the financial issues and other issues that come up. It's just tough, and you know, at 20 you think everything's rosy, but it's not. It's a lot of a struggle, and you got to get through it.
Well, I think as you get older, you have to learn to be patient with people. You know, the saying, do unto others that you like others do to you, kind and thoughtful. I do think that after I had my first child, I was aware of a lot of things that I wasn't before, like how you have to give everything to raising a child. You know, it's 24-hour duty. Can't say I'm taking today off. And I don't think it like changed a track, but I think it really made me see everything with different eyes.
I think my favorite memory would be in 2nd grade when my parents organized a trip with family friends, and we went to Disney World in Florida. And we had so much fun, and it was just seemed magical. The entire experience was magical with my sisters, and it was our first time there, and it was my first time on an airplane.
Some of the earliest memories with my parents, I guess I have going down to the Cape and staying with my grandparents.
Oh, I remember the vacations that we took. We didn't take too many elaborate. We did go to Disney World one time, but most of the time we would just go to Cape Cod or to a beach area.
Oh, I guess like trips when we used to go to Greenfield back and forth, like for Thanksgiving, and the way we used to sit in the car seat because they didn't have seat belts, so you could kind of like sit, you know, on the floor behind the seat and sprawl out all over the place. And those rides, because we used to go for like Thanksgiving, but we'd go like the day before.
I remember playing games. We used to always play games as a family. We would go for walks or hikes. A lot of times on Sundays after we finished our homework and had dinner, we would have a fire and then we'd play in the living room, play board games.
My earliest memories with my grandparents probably were swimming at their pool and having cookouts with all the family to gather together.
All the things we did when they were growing up. We did a lot of baseballs, softball, and games like that. And we just had a lot of fun with the kids. We'd go to the beach. We'd go on vacation every year to Winnipesaukee, down the Cape. We went to the World's Fair in Tennessee. We just did a lot of things as a family, and the kids were really great. And one of the best things when we all went to Arizona.
My favorite vacation would still have to be Arizona. We did so much together in that week that we were all together. We celebrated birthdays, we went out to dinner, we saw a mariachi band, we got to meet our cousins from Arizona that we haven't seen in a really long time. We were together, and I think that made it really special.
Our trip to Arizona when I was 7, we all went out to Phoenix to see some family, and we took the pink Jeep tours, and I just remember having so much fun that day.
Well, they were kind of like high school boyfriend type stories, working stories. She was always a hard worker and always had a job. So she would tell us about her jobs that she had when she was still in high school and after high school. And she also was very proud of the fact that she was named Miss Betty Crocker in high school.
My dad talking about playing in the woods, and my mom talking about walking to school in the snow and the whatever, and it was kind of far away.
My grandmother still loves to tell the story about how her and Poppy met. They both went to Greenfield Community College, and they were in biology together, and the teacher was like, I need 2 people to go and get some tadpoles from the nearby pond. And my grandparents decided, oh, we'll go. And over time, they just fell in love, and I just think it's crazy that it all started at a pond getting tadpoles.
One story I remember is when my Nana told me she smoked a cigarette out of her window, and her dad was outside, and he thought that the house was burning down, and that was really funny to me.
Nana and Poppy have given us a set of morals that will stay with us forever. They have inspired all to love and be happy and to be who we were.
He instilled a sense of hard work and how important it is to be wise with your money and not to be foolish, and how important it is to be close with your family and support each other through good times and bad times.
When I was growing up, my mom was fortunate enough to be able to stay home with us while we were young, and my dad actually worked very hard. He worked full-time, and then he had a part-time job that he worked on Monday and Friday nights, and so just so that my mom could stay home with us. But he was I think he actually instilled like a strong work ethics in us, so that we really worked hard for whatever was important to us.
I would say they've taught me to always be kind to everyone, and you have to work for everything. It doesn't just come to you.
Work ethic, they went to work every day. They didn't like take a day off.
Learn from working hard is the main thing. You work hard for whatever you do, for your jobs, for your family, I say my family had a huge influence on me.
My parents are definitely role models for both Fred and I. My parents have been married for 52 years, and you know, there's good times and there's bad times. There's times when you're gonna really love each other, and then there's times when you get upset and have a fight, but you know, in the end you truly love each other and withstand any little arguments.
I mean, the whole point, if somebody's been together for 50 years like they have, you have to be committed to one another. You have to know that there's going to be good times as well as bad times, and work things out. It's okay to disagree. In the end, just try to have a open relationship where you can talk about everything and really communicate and be honest with the person.
50 years is a big deal. 52 years, that's pretty impressive. Most people nowadays can't even get that far, and it's really taken everyone's noticed like how much they love each other.
Oh, I think it made it much stronger because he was lucky. He was stationed in California, and I was able to go. I couldn't live on base, but we rented this little tiny trailer, and it was just the two of us, so you kind of had to get along.
Made me be honest and to just try hard for whatever you do and not give up, because you can do a lot of things that you don't think you can do, and the military drums that into you.
My wedding was the second wedding of the three girls. So my youngest sister got married first in '96, and I got married in '97, and my older sister got married in '98.
The cake knife that we used at our wedding, yes. My parents actually used it at their wedding in 1965 and saved it. And so I used it at our wedding.
Cake knife, my grandmother used at her wedding. Then my aunts have both used it, and my mom. And we decided to use it at the 50th anniversary party when we all cut the cake. It was just such a big moment because that knife has been in our family for more than 50 years now. And I'm so excited to use it when I get married, and I hope all my cousins use it too because it's such a big family tradition now.
When I look back at my childhood, I just feel like it was so simple and happy. And I'm not sure if that's me looking back at my childhood thinking that way, or if I really felt that way when I was growing up. But I feel like it was such a fun time, and I was so fortunate to have parents that wanted to do fun things with us.
We played sports, we were involved in the community with softball, different things like that. Somebody was always running somewhere to the field. Puppy spent a lot of time, coaching and playing in the backyard. Nana spent a lot of time making sure we got to the doctor's appointments and like supper and all that stuff was ready. And
Well, I think all holidays now, whenever I'm with my 3 daughters, 3 son-in-laws, and 6 grandchildren is the happy time. We have a lot of cookouts in the summer.
I'll always remember when we have cookouts at Nana and Puppy's house and all the family there.
When we used to go up to Vermont every February vacation with my whole family, and we always used to have so much fun. We'd go snow tubing and have hot chocolate like twice a day, and go out to the lake, which was frozen over, and we would just go and have snowball fights and sledding, and I will always cherish that.
Thanksgiving, when I was growing up, we always used to go to my grandmother's house, and she'd have all kinds of turkeys and put out a big buffet of candy and fruits, and she was just an amazing person, and that was really a good time.
Watching the fireworks on the 4th of July with my sister and my grandmother and my grandfather. We were all sitting in the back of their car, watching, eating. It was really fun.
I would say I like Christmas morning the best because everyone's all there and we're in our PJs and it's really fun and we all get to open our gifts and there's really good food and it's a fun time.
My favorite family tradition is definitely Christmas morning when we all go to Tammy's house, and she has this huge tree and everyone brings their gifts and we all put them out. Usually T and I separate them out. We give them to each person, and I think that's probably my favorite because, the wrapping paper starts flying or people just laugh, and it's really fun to hear.
There are so many. Gosh, I think all the holidays that we spent with our extended family, our grandparents, our cousins. I really appreciate getting to know all of my grandparents really well, and I think and my cousins, and I think my parents did a good job with that, even though we weren't always close in location. We always got together with them, and when we did, we spent quality time with them, and I think that was really nice.
We used to climb Blue Hills, I think it was. Yeah, we used to climb Blue Hills as a family together, and we'd have picnics and up at the top of the little hill and stuff. We'd go through this little rock castle kind of thing that was there. We had a lot of fun doing that.
My earliest memories with Nana and Puppy would have been for my 6th birthday. They bought me a bouquet of balloons, and it was pretty cool.
watching the Red Sox game at their house on the couch.
My parents are very involved with my kids' lives today, and I tell my kids all the time how lucky they are that they have their grandparents in their lives, number one, and that they want to be a part of their lives, number two, because a lot of grandparents aren't as supportive as their to their grandchildren as my parents are. And so, for example, they go to a lot of their sporting events, or they will come over and have dinner with us, you know, every once in a while.
And Puppy have always been there for me. They go to all my sporting events. They sometimes come over for dinner. They come over for every holiday. They're always there for me, and I always appreciate that because I know they love me and I love them a lot.
I love you, and I will always love you.
Thank you. Thank you for always being there for me. Thank you for supporting me.
I love you.
My grandparents have been through so much in their life, and I'm so glad I get to honor them by making this documentary about their life. To learn so much about when they were kids, how they met, and over 50 years of marriage. If I could say one thing to my grandparents right now, I would say thank you. Thank you for helping me grow, by teaching me and loving me. Thank you for the many experiences you have given us, and thank you for all the love that you have shown to our families and each other.